Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 31st episode of this. Am I going to mess this up every single week?
You're gonna
Yes.
have to write it down and so you can read it.
You know what it is? I'm tired this week.
Well, that's true. I don't
We'll
blame
get
you.
into that. We'll get to that in a little bit. But all right, let's try that again. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Center Seat, a Fleet 31 communications podcast. I am one of your hosts, Vice Admiral J.L. Galloway, your Fleet 31 commanding officer. I am joined by my co-host, Rear Admiral Jenny Hay, our Deputy Fleet Commander, and of course our Community Manager, Captain Scott Sterling.
Howdy, howdy.
So, how was everybody's week? Let's just jump right into it. Going
Hell.
victory reports. I hear you, Scott.
Busy.
So, hell and busy.
Yeah.
Sounds like all the way around. Not a fun week.
It's amazing how fast this week has gone by.
hmm
Yeah.
It was misleading for me because I had a great weekend. Nice, relaxing, nothing to do after 2 weeks of cleaning. Had a nice, relaxing weekend, and then hell. I have to agree with Jenny. Hell. Well,
Mhm.
that way. Yeah, that way. There. Hey, look. I got
That
actually
way.
a point.
I always forget it's backwards.
All right, Scott. I'm gonna like that. That way. I like that. Okay.
I can't do that. No, my OCD kicks in.
Why'd you move me back?
I didn't. We probably did at the same time. This is why we shouldn't have 3 admins on the board.
So yes, Thomas, I agree. Twitch would be a good idea. We'll talk about it.
Yep.
Because technically, I don't need to be streaming this on my own personal YouTube page anymore. Now that we have our own Fleet 31
Mhm.
YouTube page,
hmm
and I know that Twitch has their own program too. And I know if we start using OBS, we can actually start merging all the chats into one. I know Priority One does it all the time, and they actually display everything on the screen on one side of the screen. We really need to reach out to our friends over at Starfleet International, mainly. You know, I'm looking at Russell. Hopefully,
Yeah.
he's watching tonight. Hopefully. So, do we actually want to get into it, or should we just move forward? Because it was a bad week, guys. Seriously, it was a
Yeah.
bad week. I'll briefly go into mine. The reason I said it was a bad week is a lot of work this week, and then last night one of my guys decided he wasn't going to show up. He was just tired, and I got woke up in the middle of the night and say, "Hey, there's nobody to relieve me." Like, great, I'm coming in at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I stayed until 11:30 this morning.
I
And
don't
I
know
was
how
able to
he's
sleep
staying
then.
alive. Yeah.
Oh, you want to know how I'm staying alive?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Somebody's
Roxadino.
echoing.
Who is?
I don't know, but somebody's echoing. Not anymore. Oh yeah, I do. I think it's you, Jay.
It's me. Uh-oh.
I hear somebody. I hear myself again on somebody else's end.
Oh, that
Hello?
better?
Testing. Sounds better. Nope, I still hear somebody.
Is it me?
It's not too terribly bad. I just can hear a little bit of me.
Well, I'll work on that
Can
too.
y'all hear our audience? Can you hear an echo? I don't hear it anymore. That's weird. Okay.
Echo, echo, Thomas says. I like that. And I agree with Thomas. Twitch would be a good idea.
It's in our plans to look into it in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get YouTube under control first.
Yeah.
Control first.
I mean,
What?
it's mostly in control. Just YouTube. They're
Coley!
Coley.
Yay!
Holy!
He was just asking about you today, Coley.
I
Jay
was.
was. I might have sent him a text about,
Okay. Yes,
Oh,
there is
oh
coffee
shoot.
in the nebula, and I made me some.
Never mind. Never mind. I did it. Never mind.
What'd you do?
I did Christmas cards, and I was sure I sent one to Coley. Coley, you're gonna get a Christmas card.
I don't know, Coley. I'd be scared. Jenny and Scott apparently have something planned, and Jenny was laughing this morning when I told my wife that how mad she got me last night because for those who don't know, we're also going to the Star Trek cruise, and last night I was listening to John Delancey, and he was a special guest, and I was trying to listen, and my loving wife right behind me hates to be interrupted during anything, anything. right? And then she's like, Kaylee, then she sends Kaylee over to ask me questions. And like, okay, the question was, I'm just going to say it. Even though I have no idea what's going on. The question was, who's your favorite actor? And I'm like, okay, this is a good question for our fan audience, even though I didn't put it as a topic. Can any of our fans that are listening live, can any of you guys say who your favorite actor is? How do you choose that? Seriously. It's like, depends. I mean, there's so many great actors out there. How do you choose? How do you limit that? You know, what kind of, are we talking like action type? We talking Star Trek? We talking romance? You know, what's he saying? Coley's saying scary and
He said bowls are on my computer.
okay, scary. Yeah. I'm lagging hard. Unlimited data seems to be limited here.
Oh
Actually, we were
no.
discussing that, Thomas, last night. Actually,
Yeah, we were.
very early this morning. That yeah, just because they say it's unlimited, they still cap it on a lot of cell phone plans.
hmm
Thomas says depends on the show. As far as thank you. I'm not the only one that has more than one favorite actor.
Cole. So Zach, I'm not Zach. You're not Zach. Zach's my boss. Scott knows the whole reason I asked you that question,
hmm
and he knows it's funny. But I
Yeah, it's
And
can't
funny
say
to pick on
anything.
Jay. It's funny to pick on Jay. So
yes,
No,
then, okay,
you understand
when
once
you
it
see
comes
it,
through.
yep.
fine. Okay,
Once it
but
comes through.
before we get to that point, so Kaylee, I'm not telling her. It's like I, I I I can't really make one, and she's like, I need it for my schoolwork. So it's like, fine, Sir Patrick Stewart. Then my wife. Oh, actually, before that, my wife is like, Kaylee needs an answer for her schoolwork. I'm like, fine, Sir Patrick Stewart.
I'm so sorry, Jen. I'm so
There
sorry.
you go. Same here. My
Let me
new
text
favorite.
her and say I'm so sorry.
And Brian Murphy, one of our enemies over the state, says Lieutenant Barkley.
You need broccoli?
Broccoli. There you go.
Hmm.
Coley says you can have much more than one, but because you can have lots of favorites, but there's only one. No, I disagree, Coley. I'm sorry. I can't just pick which one is the best. They all have their strong points. They're all my favorites. So Patrick Stewart is
There.
a great one, but I like others too. I mean, I also like if we're talking just Star Trek, man, that could be an interesting one. I know Howie Goldberg would disagree with me, but Michael Burnham is another great one. Very
Yeah.
phenomenal.
hmm
Anson Mount, who played Captain Pike, incredible. I'm serious,
Yeah.
incredible performance. He's another one. Mary Chieffo and her portrayal of Laurel, awesome. Another favorite of mine. I mean, it just depends.
Like almost the whole Discovery crew.
Uh,
Almost. I said almost.
I wish we can get into that.
I know.
Once the season wraps up, we can talk about Discovery Crew and we
But,
can talk about how my opinions on some of them have changed. We kind of
and
hinted at it off the air a little bit already.
we all know who Jay's favorite is. It's Will Wheaton. I mean, come on.
Hey, Will Wheaton is pretty cool. I'll give
He's
you
pretty
that.
cool. I
But
met him in real life. Actually ran into him in real life on my birthday.
and no, Coley, not all is equal.
Yes, everybody's equal.
No, there are favorites, and I do have
There is
some
people.
favorites and
There's
favorites.
more you lean towards than others.
Again, it depends on the series and depends what it is. It's just
You,
hard to
like I
narrow
said,
everything
once it comes through, you'll understand why I asked you
hmm
that question. Oh, I
hmm
had Jen ask you that question.
Thomas said here, David Tennant,
Oh,
awesome
that's
choice.
good.
Sir Patrick Stewart, awesome choice. Ian McKellen, awesome. Anthony Stewart Head, pretty good. Chris Evans, okay, I can see that. I can see Travis Willingham, and the list goes on.
You know
I have a
David
couple.
Tennant? How do you know David Tennant from? I know it from.
You're gonna make me say it, aren't you?
Hmm.
No, I'm not gonna say it.
Or come on, say it.
If you
Nope.
know him, then
From a
you
phone
said he's
book. Okay.
awesome.
He plays in a phone booth.
Question is, how do you think he's awesome if you haven't seen that show?
I haven't seen the show, but I've listened to his interviews, and I've seen him in other things too. I just can't remember what.
You know what he was in?
Trying to remember because I have seen him in other projects and smaller projects. And then somebody told
Something
me, I
called
think it was
Harry
you.
Potter.
Oh yeah, it was you. I think it was you that actually told me that he also was in Doctor Who. Fine, I said, are you happy?
He's in Harry Potter.
Yeah. And Hamlet.
Doctor Who's amazing. You should watch it.
Sure, I'll get.
If you watch Doctor Who,
I'll tell you what.
watch Universe.
That's what I was ready to make a deal with you.
You have to watch all of Who.
No, we could do it one by one. We could watch one episode of Doctor Who and one episode of Universe. Except for your torture will end after 44 episodes. Mine will continue for 50 plus years. But we'd have to limit that to maybe just one series.
I almost, babe, I almost put on our shirt today.
Oh, really?
The cruise shirt?
Yeah.
What shirt?
Yeah.
You mean the Doctor Who shirt, crossover shirt with Star Trek?
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was one or the other.
I'm actually wearing Spock today instead.
Oh, I mean, I'm wearing generic.
Look, at least I put on something sci-fi related. Gee.
Hey, so did I.
Step away for
Yeah, you're wearing
Star Trek shirt.
Stowe shirt.
Hmm?
You want me to go step away and go get a Star Trek shirt?
I just I can't pick on you. Come on.
Of course you can.
Good.
Just ask Sammy what happens when you pick on me. Sammy, what happens when you pick on Jay? And I'm gonna ignore Tom.
Matt?
Nope.
Thomas, I like that.
Nope. I'm gonna ignore that.
I agree.
No.
I agree.
No.
I agree.
Nope.
I agree.
All right,
I
children.
agree. Look who we have. We have a special guest.
Mike.
I think we're being invaded.
Spock helmet, yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
3-1, you lost.
Sammy says it best right there. Did you read what she just wrote there?
I know. You do pick on me. You know what I do? I just ignore you. You're like a big brother to me now.
We all know who the real power behind the throne is. Nope.
Oh, sorry. Let me. There we go. It's the quiet ones you have to worry about, Mike.
That's true.
So in other words, he talks Jenny into it, and then Jenny tells you you're doing it.
I mean, it's chain of command, right?
Hey, I only listen to that one most of the time.
Hence the word most of the time. You should always listen to your wife.
Spock.
Right, Scott?
I see that challenge. Did we throw out a challenge I forgot about?
Yes.
We did.
We did.
For Jay to wear the Spock helmet while he's watching Doctor Who.
That's not a challenge.
Do it. Spock helmet.
I'll tell you what. If you pay the $300 to get me a Spock helmet, I will wear it at least for one episode.
I'm not paying $300 for one episode.
I didn't say you. I said Kelly.
Well, remember the plan that we had come up with. When you guys do the cruise, we can probably set it up so that there's someone there that he can borrow it from, and then tour the deck in the helmet video.
If we get that helmet, we have to do like a professional photo shoot with you wearing the helmet.
Yes.
Yes.
That might be possible, but I won't wear it every single day.
Extra bonus points if it's with one of the stars.
Oh, yes. Especially if you get a Spock. If you get like Zachary Quintos or Ethan Peck to join you.
He's in. Look, you piqued his interest there.
No, he didn't.
Oh, come on.
Did you see what he wrote there?
That's true.
I would need to be at least set.
Need to be set in the background.
It would be on my head for $300 for one episode.
So he has admitted he would wear it.
Well, if somebody's going to waste $300 on a little prop piece, then yeah, I'll wear it.
But yes, but we're looking at borrowing it from someone that's already paid the $300 for it.
Oh no, COVID and everything. I ain't borrowing anything from anybody. Are you?
We can disinfect it.
Are you saying that you would actually board a cruise ship during COVID? We're talking about the cruise.
True. Well, I don't
Let's
know.
do a little research. Can we find the helmet cheaper? Spock helmet
And it better not be used, Jenny.
for sale. It's really sad that somebody actually Googled this.
Mm.
Used.
No, what I was gonna say is, you could probably just make our own helmet based on the Spock helmet and just put Fleet Commander on it, and then pass it down to the next Fleet Commander. It could be like the crown being passed.
What? So I typed in Spock helmet for sale, right?
Oh no, okay. Just show us what you typed in.
Well, it has addresses. I don't want
Oh,
people to
okay,
know where I live.
never mind. Don't do it then.
And the things that popped up like stores, Target, Psycho Gear, and Walmart.
Target and Walmart have the Spock helmet? I don't think so.
No, it says the website contains Spock and helmet.
Okay.
Nice.
No.
Ooh, uh-oh, I should not be on this. Here, I can share this out. Hold on.
Okay.
This is dangerous.
Yes, talking about Spock helmet and making me wear it is a very dangerous topic. I agree.
No, eBay and Star Trek stuff.
All right, let's see what you got. Ooh, micro machines. Actually,
Rick,
that's not a
I
bad
want
price.
this. I want this cookie jar.
All I have with that logo is the mug, and that's it.
Yeah, I have a mug. Ooh, do you see that they have new
I got this mug.
they have new flatware coming out. That's like look like L cars, and it's like a place setting.
What else do they have on here? And I saw, yeah, you showed me that, Jenny.
Yeah. Action figures.
Ooh, I like
that's a
the
nice plate.
I do.
Oh
like
yeah, I think that's one of the ones I have actually.
Yeah.
I
My-
think
I
yeah, I think I
have?
do have that one.
My wife's grandma has a plate collection, not of Star Trek, but just a plate collection on her.
I mean, I don't
I don't
have
think I have
many
that one.
plates. I have like
Yeah, I
one
don't have
plate,
many.
that's
Most
it.
of mine are right above. You guys can't see it, but most of mine are right here above my head.
Ooh,
on
I
the
like
wall.
that full size Star Trek TOS wall intercom prop spectacular. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, another plate. Ooh, this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
It's a doormat. My future house is gonna be decked out in Trek stuff.
All right, I am not seeing no Spock helmet.
No, me either. I typed in Spock helmet.
Hey, wait, is somebody reselling Star Trek Online or third party? Wow, people.
Probably.
Because that looked like the Pathfinder.
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some people
The
that
Eagle Moss or Star Trek Online Pathfinder. Yep.
So game print. It's not from Eagle Moss. Is that one from
Well,
Eagle
this
Moss?
one says Eagle Moss. This one says Eagle Moss on it.
Did Eagle Moss do one, guys? Scott and Mike?
I think at one point.
I found the
Alright,
helmet,
so
guys.
OS.
I found the helmet.
Okay. And how much is this gonna set us back?
I have to sign up for the Worth Point. I'm not signing up for a website. It won't tell you. See, it
Oh,
says
look at that.
sign
You
in.
can put Kirk, McCoy, or Spock or Scotty. And that's a kid size one. That won't fit my head. I'm like a 7 1/8 head size.
I wonder if it'd be cheaper to have one custom made.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too.
Probably.
Yeah.
We just have to figure out who can make one.
Well, it could also be made out of foam. There are a lot of great people who can do armor and stuff out of foam, or helmets and face masks out of foam.
You know, if it's made of foam, I would wear it to convention because it'd be a picture worth taking. Because
Sure.
come on,
Hey,
wouldn't
you heard it, Mike. Let's make it happen. It's one's gonna say Deputy Fleet Commander, the other say Fleet Commander.
Well, I'm just saying. Can you imagine how much people are going to stop you to get pictures of it?
Actually, yeah.
Or if you want to make it like Spock's, then yeah, people might.
Yeah.
I wonder what a
I
Klingon.
have no problem wearing it. I don't know what's your problem. But again, I don't get embarrassed easily, so.
It's not about being embarrassed. It's just I don't usually like. I'm not worried about being embarrassed, though.
Then why don't you want to wear it all the time?
What, do you see me wearing hats all the time?
Me either, but I put it on.
I'm just saying. Do you see me wearing hats all the time?
Nope.
Hiding my beautiful gray hair?
But you're gonna dye it.
Well, my sister usually makes me do that when I go cosplay. What?
There's a video of Ethan Pegg opening up the helmet and wearing it.
Oh, show us. Oh, no, we can't
You
because.
can't.
Hey, you know what? Save it, and then we'll watch it off the air.
Okay.
Or we can probably put it in the chat if other people want to see it now. We just can't watch it yet.
I thought you said we can't watch. I don't want to say it again.
Thomas says they never make hats in my size. Oh, yeah.
Does the head of Starfleet International still watch this podcast?
I don't know, Stephen Parmley.
Something came through my Facebook feed a little while ago. It was a transmission from the Starfleet Diplomatic Corps, which was intercepted by Klingon Assault Group Command. From Starfleet Diplomatic Corps to all members of Starfleet International, this is the first update in the CAG SFI food drive war. As of this morning, reports from CAG place them at over 300 pounds of food collected and donated, while Starfleet International sits at 16 pounds. Officially reported. The Klingons celebrated blood wine and stories of conquest over Starfleet.
What lesson did we learn here? Don't mess with the Klingons.
To the head
Right.
of International, I am here to tell you, yes, we are celebrating. And yes, we will probably double that number. You're going down, dude. You're going down.
That makes me happy that you're donating food, helping these people who need help.
Yes.
Especially right now.
Last night, Jay knows the story. I can tell y'all later. But I interacted with a homeless lady last night who probably needed that help, that food, the clothing, the utensils, the soap, shampoo. Guys, if you don't use the soap and shampoo in hotels, take it home and then donate it. Collect a whole bunch, then go to a shelter and donate it. They will love it. Because at hotels, we can't reuse it. We have to throw it away. So, might as well just take it with you and donate it.
Yeah. I can't tag Stephen Parmley. Oh, yes, I can. What's that? You were called out, my friend.
Anyways.
CAG is winning the war. I'm going to write it in here. CAG is winning the war. against SFI. Oh, boy. I'm starting an interfleet battle. Great.
Well, if I understand correctly, Fleet 31 is kind of neutral in this one, aren't they? So technically, you're just observers reporting.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
I'm part of a certain Klingon's house. I just won't mention which one in CAG.
I bet it's a very noble and honorable house.
Noble house. Yes.
I've got to figure out how Scott does that with his the screen that he gets. It's like, he's always at someplace different. Never know where he's going to beam into. He's starting to remind me of Linus with his badge.
Speaking of badges, why do I have to put it on this side to make it look like it's actually facing right?
It's the way your camera works.
Completely backwards. My wife's hovering over the side here. Hi.
She's like, excuse me.
Well, she's right in my peripheral.
Is she not allowed to stand there?
From one Klingon to another, Mike. Klingon master race.
Yes.
Thomas Barnett is Kellen Drake on Discord.
Okay.
Klingon. Yeah.
Yes. And we even have the One Ring to rule them all, too.
Oh, man. Why?
Ooh, fun fact, I never seen this.
Wow.
I never seen that series.
And if you tell me that Twilight is a great series, Mike, we're going to have a serious conversation about our friendship.
No.
Never
Honestly,
seen Twilight either.
I have never seen Twilight.
Me
Don't.
either.
Never
I've never
seen
seen
any
Lord of
of
the
them.
Rings either.
I'll fix that.
Oh,
Scott, you haven't seen half the Disney movies, so
True.
there's a problem here.
Hey, now there's some really good Disney movies.
I know. You just haven't seen them yet.
They're
look what
better
Coley-
in the original Klingon, but they're still good.
Look what Coley said. I think he meant. I think he meant Scott. Bob Scott
No.
for suggesting.
Well, I can't bop him.
Oh, you can't. Here, let me fix that. Go ahead. Go ahead. All right. Ow.
She has a long arm.
I do have a long arm. Ready?
Jenny
Oh,
probably. Jenny probably one of those like has that family arm like the mom or dad were around the church pew, and one person knocks out the family, whack.
Well, Scott's got the safety arm.
Yeah, the
You know
safety arm.
the safety arm where you hit it breaks and you stick your hand like this to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
He definitely has the safety arm.
So crew reports, is that our section of what we're doing right now?
Sort of.
Quarter.
We've been on
Yeah.
it for 31 minutes.
We are such great podcasters.
Well, we're not priority one, and we never claimed to be. We're not scripted.
Nope.
We do
This
have
is-
bulletin points.
No, this is
Well-
crew reports with tangents.
Yeah.
All
Well,
crew-
honestly,
How
I
was
will
your
say the one thing that I'm happy with is I'm trying now that the world is showing some hope,
week? Mhm.
and I haven't been sitting in the big chair for a while. I am putting my attention back to my group and trying to
You
do
want it?
something with them. No,
want
you
it?
can have it. Jenny's next in line. And
Nope,
then
I don't
Scott
want
is, and if anything should happen to Scott, then or Jenny, then it falls to Scott. Scott's third in line.
Wait, he is?
Oh, really?
What?
When
What
did
happened
this
to all my
Hey.
happen?
sector commanders? What happened to all my sector commanders?
Hey, well, what can I say? But at any rate, what I was going to say is one of the things that I ended up deciding to do this time is to introduce a challenge, like exploration challenges, different things like that. It's things that we can do that we don't necessarily have to do together, but we come back and we share it with each other. So the hope is that it will make the crew feel involved again. And even though they can't be together, it's a way of doing things together. And they still have a chance to talk about it. And so the first one that we're doing is they just opened up a trail of an old railway tunnel that is 1 mile through Afton Mountain. And it was made back in the 1800s. And it was basically empty for a long time. And they basically went in and they turned it into a greenway trail. And it just opened up. And so that's our challenge, is to go visit it. It's something they can do outdoors, something they can do on their own, and then they come back and post pictures and talk about it. And so far, we've already had one person that hit it right off the bat, and others are planning. So
I love it. That's
love
how
that
we
idea.
get people interactive and outside and moving, and I love it.
yeah, and it
Jay
also
and I were just talking about how to get. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
and it also is a way for us to start feeling like a club and a group again.
Hmm.
Which I'm hoping more groups will start using digital. Either this goes into a bigger, but I'm going to try to keep it a small scope here. I'm hoping that more groups will start using more of a digital platform for the time being. I know that it's not an original idea, but a lot of subgroups are doing it. Like, for example, the Russell Mars group does it all the time. They use their Discord and they use their Facebook group pages to promote their
Mhm.
local chapter. So that's nice to see. I just wish we could see more of that. I'm happy to see, Mike, that you're doing that as well now. So I'm slowly starting to work that process. There's a couple things that we're working on as far as fleet business. Hey, I guess we can segue into that. So fleet business, we're kind of segueing into my fleet roll call is coming along. It's actually almost completed, and that's ready to close out here any day now. More chapters have responded, so I want to say thank you to everybody, for responding. I'm a lot happier because we're not at 19 anymore. I think we're around 26.
Something like that. Yeah.
But I have to take a look
Is
at the
that
final.
how many are reporting as active on the roll call?
Yeah, well, active is a loose term. Let's just say
Okay.
they're responding to the roll call. So as long as you respond to the roll call, even if you're not active, I'm willing to work with you. And we all should work with each other because this is a community.
Yeah.
We've been through a hard time this year. COVID's really hit a lot of us, and we are finally starting to see the other side. So now that we're starting to see the other side, because they're saying early next year we can start having vaccinations and maybe start getting back to a sense of normalcy, that we need to start engaging with those people. So part of that for me was the fleet roll call, and the other part was how do we reach out to these members? Facebook is one option, but I wouldn't mind getting like an email. Maybe I know we have the Twitter account. We should probably start plugging that more.
Mhm.
Trying to get some of our members on there because I was running the analytics in our fleet numbers, and they're a little smaller than I'd like them to be. But again, I'm also the fleet commander. I'm supposed to look at all those things, and the fleet commander should never be content to wherever they're at. They should always want to strive to do better. I know Mike was that way when he was the fleet commander. Richard was that way when he was the fleet commander before him. And then Carolyn Morgan was technically our fleet commander, but she was an intern, so she was just completing the term. But she had already continued the practices that Richard had set forth. So, I mean, like I said, every single fleet commander that we've had, going all the way back to Cameron, has always had some kind of goal or strive. Even Ed and, like I said, Cameron, our original fleet commander, also all had different goals. So my term is a little different than most of our other fleet commanders because I was the fleet commander that was here for COVID, which changed everything. And I'm not afraid to admit that I did take some help and information from Steve about how could we get more communication out there, how could we engage with some of our fleet mates, and our own fleet podcast was, I thought, was the best way of going about that. Yeah, it looks like we have some comments. Oh, they're all from us.
Well, you mentioned Twitter account, so put it there.
Yeah, there you go.
We're pretty talented. We can be on podcast talking and chatting. Like, come on.
So for
It's not
those
like
who
three
don't
of us have
know,
admin
it's
issues.
our Twitter handle is at fleet or at F31 seat. You can message us there.
Yep.
Thank you. I really
Yep.
like that one. This energy. And Mike, thank you for making that seal for us.
I've
That
had a
looks
lot of fun with seals the last few days, as you already know.
Well, you mean flags?
Yes, but this using our seals to create
Oh.
some of them.
One flag I haven't asked you to make yet, and maybe I'll just ask you now since we're live on the air.
All right,
Maybe a fleet commander flag.
it's easy to do.
Yeah.
You've seen the layout, so you know pretty much what we can do where.
Yeah. Well, I'm still waiting for the Moorhead one, but I asked you for that one too. Remember the light ship of the fleet?
He's one man.
I know he is.
It
No,
will be done.
That is not true. He is not one man. He is one Klingon.
Okay, he is one Klingon who has an other outside life.
I'm still
I know
waiting for that
Klingons have
barrel of
life.
blood wine.
Oh.
Jenny, get right on that.
Scott, get on that.
Our delegation. You like that, Scott?
I mean, I am closest out of all three of us, so
He is community manager. Mike is community.
Ooh, she got you.
Yeah.
This is true.
She got you there, Scott. I can't.
And
believe it.
as soon
That's
as all
smart.
this COVID stuff is over, we're still rating Mount Vernon in uniform. Is that correct?
oh yeah,
Okay.
can't wait.
Yeah, I've got I have a couple of Klingons lined up to join us.
Okay.
So
Maybe we
that'll
should
be
fly
some
up and see y'all.
interesting fun.
Where's
It'll be
Sam?
fun.
Sam, are you still on? Oh, I gotta wait for the delay.
I ate her. I mean,
Hey, don't be
Wait,
eating Sammy.
Never mind.
I know. My thoughts went there too, but I'm trying to keep it PG.
that's when I said no. That's just my usual thing. Is I say eat it when something went missing, and then I realized, anyways,
You're not
moving
helping our
on.
situation.
Let's move on to the
See?
next subject.
Oh no, let's actually finish the fleet roll call. So and then we'll move on to the next subject. So yeah, the fleet roll call was one of the things that we started last week. And in the process, it looks like we're getting an old chapter to come back, We're going to be voting on that real soon, and hopefully
Hmm.
the CO Council. It looks like it's going to be a landslide and just a push to get them in, but technically we have our formalities that we have to go through.
Mhm.
And with that, we already kind of covered this topic anyways, finding out new ways of reaching out to our fleet membership. We are talking about some things behind the scenes in the command council. Can't really discuss them yet, but we are we're looking at different ways. So if any of our fans out here have interesting ways, or I'm not interesting ways, if have any ideas on how we can better communicate besides doing the podcast, besides doing them live,
Besides doing Facebook, we need
yeah,
some
besides doing
other
Facebook,
more interaction with people than Facebook.
yeah, because limiting everything to one particular social media, mm, I don't think is the best route to go potentially. I mean, what I'm seeing is a lot of our command council CEOs use Facebook because that's the primary way we communicate. But when I look at the membership at large, a lot of our membership doesn't use our Facebook page, and that's one thing I would like to change. I'm happy to see that some of the membership are at least using their local chapter pages. That does make me happy. All right, so we can move into that to our main topic of the night. So our homework last week was Star Trek: The Next Generations, season 4, episode 14, Clues. This episode featured Whoopi Goldberg, well, special guest star
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg, but they didn't have any other real special guests. They did have some other special actors, but nobody that was too well. They had a voiceover actor, which because the special actor that they had was a voiceover actor, and they are basically voicing over for Deanna Troy's character or
Ah,
Marina Sirtis'
Mhm.
character. So, with that said, basically the episode is the Enterprise starts off. And I thought they did a pretty good job with this, with Whoopi Goldberg's nice small cameo. They basically start off in the holodeck, and Whoopi Goldberg's there. You know, her character, she's not too sure about the character, which is kind of an interesting point, and I'll get into that here in a moment. Why I say that's an interesting point, because it sounds like the character doesn't really know what she's supposed to be doing, and like I said, I'll get into that in a second. And she's gonna meet up with Captain Picard's character, or and obviously something's wrong right off the bat, and it starts off in the classic, 1950, 1940, 50s, crime thriller. And when they get there and they start that's where you would think that this episode's going to go on this whole adventure with Whoopi and Picard, and they're going to have her explore humanity, but this scene was honestly a throwaway scene. And it really served no purpose beyond the fact to say, hey, we have Whoopi Goldberg. What are we going to do with her?
It
You know,
kind of ties in because he is a detective, so I guess it kind of ties in with the whole
mm,
thing about being a detective. It's like kind of.
It does. It does.
I thought it was funny that her character on the ship or on the holodeck was Gloria from Cleveland
Yeah.
because
go ahead.
she played Gloria in Sister Act.
This is
Her name
true.
was
Yeah.
Gloria. But she wasn't from Cleveland. She was from Las Vegas. But I just watched Sister Act 1 and 2 recently, so I just remind me. I thought it was funny that she had the same character named Gloria. But
Well,
anyways, I just random side
the reason,
thought.
yeah, but the reason I was saying that this is weird for me and it felt a little forced is because of the fact that Whoopi Goldberg was on Earth for a long time. She met Picard way in the past and wasn't allowed to talk to him
Hmm.
about it. Like, you're telling me she wouldn't know a history novel, a popular history novel from the 21st century when she was on Earth? I find that hard to believe.
how do you know that she was on Earth during that time period, though? Because when we saw her on Earth, it was during the time of Mark Twain, and I don't think he was writing those mystery novels.
No, but I'm pretty sure that the Elorians weren't just there one time, and they weren't assimilated by the Borg for many years later. So we don't know. One, we don't know how they traveled back and forth. Is it really warp drive? Did it really take them, 75 years to get from one side of the galaxy to the other, or did they have shortcuts? We're not really sure how the Elorians got from one point to another. All we know is the first time we actually see them as far as their ships and traveling, is in Star Trek Generations when they have their 2 ships caught in the Nexus.
All right.
But we don't know
So
too much about their ships or their
so
tech.
for the writers of the show Star Trek Picard, get on that. We want to know the answer.
Yeah.
She's going to be on it. I don't know how, but she's
Exactly.
going to be on it. So I'm curious what they're going to do for that.
Yeah.
You know, and they may not answer too. They might just leave it like one of those things that you'll never get an answer to.
Hmm.
So maybe. Oh, but like I said, you know, for me, I had a hard time with that particular scene because of the
I
fact
didn't
that.
think about that.
Okay, here Thomas says, let's not forget that Guinan was on Earth. Well, like, we're not
Yep.
going to forget that, Thomas, because Mike just brought that up a moment ago. But it's probably because of the delay that he didn't hear you mention that yet.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that episode's time 0, if I remember right.
Mhm.
Thomas, so that you know, you and I are Klingons. These are humans. Remember, humans don't pay attention to their history as much as Klingons. Klingons have been observing them for centuries. We know what's going on, and we even know how things are going to turn out the next 100 or so years. But you know, these are humans; they don't know these things. Okay.
Uh huh. And who lost the battle? Just out of curiosity.
Which battle?
Who caused the Klingons to go into a Cold War with the Federation?
It was humans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
That's right. Humans
Okay.
lost.
Hang on.
The
No.
Federation lost, and the Klingons won.
Nope, that's not true. We had you on your knees, and we gave control over to Laurel, who we knew we could trust.
Fake history, dude.
Fake history, huh? Star Trek Discovery season 1. Fake history.
It's a
Canon.
great show, but it's it's fictional events.
And you're telling me that there's never been 2 female chancellors on the Empire?
Oh yeah, we've had female. And Laurel is a great woman, or she was during her time. Mother of Klingons. But as far as I know, there is no proof that says that she had her finger on a trigger that would have blown up Kronos.
You might want to watch the final episode of Star Trek Discovery season 1.
It doesn't exist.
Hey guys, remember when he was just telling us a minute ago that, you know, Klingons know their history and now it doesn't exist?
Jenny, are you telling me that he has not watched Galaxy Quest and does not know the difference between dramas and historical documents?
Best Star Trek movie ever.
Yes.
Oh,
Galaxy Quest is not a Star Trek movie, even though I love that.
Yes, it
tangent
is.
move. Tangent
No,
move.
it's not.
I love that. I can't remember the aliens' names, but they some people dressed up as an SUV one year.
Oh yeah.
I cannot think of their
last year.
names. But yeah.
Christina, I can't remember what her last name is.
Mhm.
First, let's look at what Thomas says while you guys are thinking about that. Discovery is just Federation propaganda.
See? The Klingons are in agreement.
I mean,
And this is what he said also. That's why they got the Klingons wrong. No. See, the Federation had the Klingons on their knees and it started a Cold War. Actually, one of my writing, and Sammy will tell you this, one of the writing groups that I do, we actually start at the beginning of the Cold War. It is a fan fiction, so I can't consider it real canon, but I can consider it story canon, you know, for my mini universe, which I'm calling the Chris universe, which just means a mirror of a mirror. You know, and we're having some fun with it. We're starting the early days of the Cold War, where the Klingons, and I'm taking a lot of examples from TOS on that and how to proceed with that. But since we have a Klingon on here, we can go on a small tangent. Why did the Klingons stop using their words and start using their fists more? I'm just curious. From the time of TOS to TNG, we saw that they weren't using their smooth talking, you know, slick style tongue. You know, instead they just like, oh, we Klingons, you bad, we kill
because
you
they
now.
like blood.
No,
They
no,
need
the
blood
Klingons
for
are
blood wine.
educated. In TOS, Klingons were very educated. They were master manipulators. And then they go from that to, we are Klingons.
Well,
We
that sounds
killed
They got
more
the
like the way it
ridges.
really is.
They got mad with the ridges. Makes them madder.
So you have to look at what a Klingon really looks like, and look at Martok. Look at Star Trek Online, and you'll see that Klingons come in all shapes and sizes. You just are talking about the tribe that it's, well, forgive me for saying this. It's like a trail. You're talking about the Klingons that kind of lived in the trailer park that just got rolled over by a tornado. You know, it's
Did you say Klingon trailer park? Trailer park Klingons.
I want to see a little sitcom.
Robert Reyes, thank you so much for joining
Hey,
us tonight.
I know him.
This man
My
is
hotel
awesome.
buddy.
He actually has his own podcast
He
too.
does. Promenade.
Yeah.
Promenade.
Robert,
Right?
if you give us a link, we will gladly display it for you. But he did say on here reasons.
In all honesty, I love the Klingons as they have been portrayed in Discovery, and I'm hoping we get to see them in that season 3. I want to see what they look like in the future. And if they take us,
that would
and
be
if they
very
if
interesting.
they roll us into the Federation, I'm not going to be happy. And a message for Captain Gecko: as far as rolling us into the Federation, no, don't do it. Don't think about it. No.
Oh, I wonder. Sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
We were talking about that off the air.
Yeah, I wonder if we're wondering if that is what he is
Gonna do? Yeah.
Wait, I'm going to take a screenshot of this because this is.
No.
Yes.
Sammy, we are not going to write a new fan fiction called Trailer Park Klingons.
Hey, one of the things that we had planned in Gates of Stovecore had to do with I don't know if you remember, there's an episode where they're on Hauk's flagship, and it's Bortos class at the time, and they created a Klingon version of Moonshine, and basically it was created using formulas from back in the from mountain Klingons, more or less. Basically just picture the Appalachians and put Klingons there and you got it. And so Klingons come in all shapes and sizes, and Trailer Park Klingon sounds like a great sitcom.
All right.
I'm totally posting on my Facebook right now. I took a screenshot.
Okay. So Robert Reyes has the Promenade Podcast, and the website is www.promenadepodcast.com.
What's it about?
So, it's
all kinds of stuff. I know he's
Yeah.
done a lot of STOV stuff.
Mhm.
He's had interview for the cruise.
Mhm.
Or Scott and I both have been interviewed for the cruise. But I guess I'll let him know. He's the one who runs it.
And he also brought back the red shirt.
He wears a red sweater.
The red
But
sweater.
he also has a blue sweater.
He does.
So he runs around in a red sweater at STOV, and that's all we ever see him in. So he's known by the red sweater guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've heard of the red sweater guy before.
That's him.
Yep. Isn't Klingon moonshine red wine?
No, it's actually different. Moonshine is something that even if Klingons drink it, they'll wake up like 3 days later naked, hanging from a tree.
And then Thomas asked, Star Trek D&D with dice and everything. That just popped in my head. Oh, Klingon Trailer Park D&D? No.
No. There is,
No.
but Thomas, if you don't know, there is a D&D that is Star Trek based.
Now,
And they just did a Klingon expansion too.
Mm-hmm.
I
I want to play it.
I will say that Star Trek Discovery did actually go to Kronos, and we did not really see the trailer park. We saw the Orion sector, and it did look kind of run down and maybe a little trailer parkish, but
and we learned something about Klingons we did not know.
Which is
they have 2 streams. That's all I'm going to say. 2 streams.
I was wondering which one of us is going to bring that up.
Facing the wall, you don't see anything but 2 streams.
Why?
Wait, when do we find this out? Did I miss this?
It's Discovery.
It's Discovery when they are walking around after they go up to the surface.
Okay.
and they're
Literally
showing
moving
different
themselves.
things. And at one scene, you see a Klingon facing a wall, and you see two streams running down the
I
wall.
don't remember that.
If I
I
remember
don't remember
correct,
that.
is that right, Scott? Do I have it right?
You
You
do
do.
have it right.
Yeah.
You do.
Okay,
You don't see
wait. Is
anything,
that
but
when
you
they're in
know
the?
what's going on.
Well, right. I just remember that. I don't remember that scene at all. Is that the when they're in the castle for the time crystal and they come up?
No, this is when Discovery has jumped into the planet,
Okay.
and they
Okay.
go up to the surface, and they're going to plant the bomb. Basically,
Okay.
they have that bomb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is propaganda, remember?
All right, bye, Coley. Have a good day at
Bye,
work.
Chloe. Have a
Yeah,
good
be
day at work.
safe, Coley.
Or a good
Oh,
night at work.
it's a great drama. Remember the difference between dramas and historical
Mhm.
records.
Well, it is historical records because they were pulled from the canon archive.
We
You
you
know
can't
what?
believe everything you hear from Memory Alpha. I mean,
Because
it's
we know everything on the internet's true.
Yeah.
exactly. You just said it. Thank you.
Jenny, what did you just post in Discord? Do I want to
The
know?
the Klingon trailer park.
Oh, jeez. Sammy, you're now infamous. Thank you for that. All right, Robert says in TNG we learned that the Klingons have two of everything. Discovery just shows what we were all thinking.
Yeah. And that comes from and Robert, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is from the episode where Worf broke his back, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he was
That's
going to
true.
commit suicide, and he ended up doing that experimental surgery, and he pretty much almost died on the table. But then the redundancy of the Klingon organs and system kicked in, and he was okay.
All right, so I found a picture
Okay.
to help people remind of the scene.
All right. Oh, why? Why? Why?
There you go.
It said that people have like made the whole like okay. I don't want to be too
Yeah,
graphic, but
The best thing Discovery did was allow Klingons to have hair again.
Yes, they
yes.
did.
Because having hair means they're in peacetime, right? Wartime Klingons shave it
Yeah.
off. Okay.
But apparently, after the fact, after they reunified, that wasn't necessarily that must have died out because we saw in Deep Space Nine they kept the braids.
Yeah.
So
All right. Sorry, guys. My wife just gave me some delicious coffee.
It's Ractagino.
No.
Yes.
No, this is coffee.
so where
My
were
problem
we?
with Earth-based Ractagino is Earth-based Ractagino is alcohol-based. The real Ractagino in Star Trek is non-alcohol based. It's just a really strong coffee with a sweet kick to it, I guess.
Mhm.
Isn't that about accurate, Mike?
It would keep a human up for about a day or two. Yes,
Mhm.
I
All
look at it as as a coffee form of an energy drink is the way I consider it.
Yeah, like coffee and energy. So
Yeah.
like Starbucks, but on Starbucks maybe meets Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So, but back onto the story of topic here tonight, with our episode. Said the question I brought up here, and this is the question I was watching when I was watching this episode is, why can't we just let things be as a society? Even Starfleet has this problem. You know, they're confronted with a mystery, and instead of just listening to data, they have to solve it. They have to figure out what's going on. You know, they overstep, in my opinion, their bounds. Like, I'm sorry, but if Scott tells me, like, if I'm having some kind of memory loss, and Scott's like, Jay, just let it go, move on. You know, I'm going to listen to my friend. I'm not going to be like, why are you not telling me, Scott? Why are we going to be doing this? You know, what are you keeping from me? I don't know. I mean, maybe Star Trek's trying to tell us something because this is not the first time in our society where I'm pulling parallels because I've seen like in real life, Seems like we like to overextend ourselves. We like to know what's going on a little too much, I think.
Yeah.
When most
Yeah.
of the time we have a hard time just keeping ourselves in our own lives in order. So,
When you said that, the first thing that came to mind was in the Enterprise series, season 3, when Archer had those organisms of whatever kind had phased into his brain,
yeah.
and every day he woke up without his memories of the previous days. It's
Oh
like he
yeah.
had lost his short-term memory, and they would tell him one thing, but instead of taking it at face value, he'd have to push it and he'd have to find out. And so every day, T'Pol would spend a certain period of time explaining to him, okay, and relating this story to him.
hmm So, Robert, I'm gonna go on a side tangent, Mike, you're gonna understand that we do this all the time. My question is, where are all the Klingons infected with the augment virus in Discovery? I think Mike already kind of hit up on that. Like Klingons are not just all on Quonos; they're all over the galaxy. So you're gonna have different subspecies of Klingons, just like you're gonna have different subspecies of humans. I hate to use the word subspecies because, in my opinion, we're all one race. you know, we are all right now. We only know this planet, right? We're all one race. It doesn't matter if you're Mexican, if you're black, if you're if you're white, Egyptian. It doesn't matter. We're all one race. We come from the same planet. Same thing with the Klingons. And like Mike was saying, different Klingons look differently.
Except for the ones from the Kelvin verse. They never existed.
The Blingons.
Right. But no, that's the way I look at it. And if you read some of the novels, they actually go into the fact that I want to think it was one of the ones that was like one of the Lost Years where it actually was an Enterprise novel as far as the Excelsior Enterprise.
Yeah.
And it actually had Dax in it, but it was a young Curzon. And it went in and it talked about all of that. But I think that one and a couple of other episodes or books went in and they talked about how the augmented Klingons were actually smooth heads. Oh, I
Yeah.
can't think of what the name is for them right now, but they were looked down on by the rest of society. They weren't considered to be of the same level. And so they were basically stuck on the front lines, and that's why we saw them in TOS, because they were the ones that were spent their time patrolling.
Okay, I wanna touch on that since you mentioned that, because in Discovery we noticed, Jenny, you can fix yourself. In Discovery we noticed that you know they went back to being different ridges, but from Enterprise to the time we see them in TOS, we see that they're smooth skin, right? Smooth foreheads, and like you're saying, they were treated as lower class. But it seemed like, so. Would you say then maybe this was the class I was talking about that used more of their words to manipulate situations, use the threat of the empire more than versus using the brute force of the empire
It's
during the Cold
possible.
War?
That's possible.
And Jenny, Matt has a comment for you that I left
I
out.
see that. Well, Matt, you know what? I think it's funny. That's why I shared to our Discord group.
And hi, Matt.
And to answer Robert's question, I think they're all in TOS, and I don't know what happened to them after they left. But according to Enterprise, again, Mike will tell you this is all propaganda, Federation propaganda, that it would take about 150 years to get the ridges back.
Well, they ended up getting, yeah, pretty much. And I also believe that in the novel I was talking about, the Lost Years one,
Yeah.
where it had Dax in it, I believe that there was a cure that was released at the end of that novel. And basically, it was an airborne cure, and it was basically spread that way. So that was supposed to restore the ridges and the DNA of those affected Klingons.
I mean, going back to DS9, where there's only one Klingon who didn't have the augment virus removed.
Which one was that?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
I don't remember that.
Because one of the things that goes with the cure being released is think about the Dahara masters that showed up and Dax joined them in that episode. They were original actors. I mean, they were original Klingons in TOS that were smooth, but yet they had ridges in this. And so that goes with the theory that at some point a cure was found and released. Either that or they had ridge augment surgery. And I just don't see these Dahara masters doing that because they considered themselves extremely honorable no matter what they look like.
All right, let's see here. Oh, Trials and Tribulations.
Okay.
This is the episode.
Oh, are you talking about the one that was surgically altered, that he was the spy? He was made to appear human?
Oh, the main the main.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The progressive.
Serrano something.
Yes.
Oh my god! I was like, okay.
Serrano something. Robert Reyes, like, yeah, the albino question mark. That's Volk, if I remember correctly. The albino he's referring to. Guy who went back in time to change the past, and he's that's Serrano Jones. Serrano Jones. I remember that because of Star Trek Online and having to play that mission like 100 times. So for those who don't know, Star Trek Online, when it first came out, they had like 2 years. I mean, they had a project that was supposed to be like 2 years long, and they had like 8 months to produce it. Right? Because Perpetual Entertainment had the contract for that, and then they only had like 8 months to produce this. So we got a lot of story-based content that was text-style format. There was no voiceover work. So if you played the game now, it's completely different than when you played it back in 2010. So also back in that day, you had to, if you wanted certain loot gear, you didn't get discounts or you didn't get a different way of collecting. You actually had to go to every character, play that mission. So you would hear about Serrano Jones playing this mission. You'd hear about Serrano Jones playing the mission going back in time. And it got annoying after a while. Because Serrano Jones, the one thing Star Trek Online likes to do is they love to continue on with stories. And I've been noticing season 3, even though we will not go into it because we already talked about we're not going to do spoilers for season 3. I've noticed that they've been doing some Easter eggs, and so is Star Trek Picard.
Exactly.
Yeah. Arnie Garvin? Who's that, Brett?
Are you talking about the guy?
Is it maybe the actor?
Maybe.
See, I don't know the actor's name, but I'm pretty sure it's Serrano Jones or Jones something.
Brett, I have to say that avatar picture of yours, mate, I know it's the Green Goblin, but my first thought was, good God, that is one monster of a Romulan/Reman hybrid.
Yeah.
I think you have just hit on what, if a Romulan Reman had a baby, what it would look like.
That's a picture only a mother can love. Sorry, I had to go there. I had to.
I'm Googling Trials and Tribulations just for y'all.
Aw,
love that episode. It's one of my favorites.
It's a good episode. I don't want to donate.
Okay. Let's see. And then, okay, so we get into the episode where I'm going to try to get us back on track here, Mike. Just so you know, we start talking about the episode. We start talking about that. We go on a tangent. We come back to the episode. Or at least you try to. I wish we could find a smoother way of making that transition back, but
wait, us do that? No.
I know, right? It's not our style.
Hey, it had a $3 million budget.
Just follow the clues.
Wait,
you'll
they had
find
a
your way
$3
back.
million budget for the
The budget was set for $3 million.
Was that for the whole season or for that episode in particular?
It sounds like this episode. Was essential work completed on matching the film technique used during original series.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Do you know what episodes were or what the episodes would be when the budget, they ran out because they spent it all on things like Trials and Tribulations? It's episodes. It's the episodes where Riker ends up on a table and we end up having flashbacks the entire time.
Yep.
Oh, I hate those episodes. Anyways, I'm still looking for
All right, so second
Arnie Darvin.
Yeah.
So following the clues back, that's one of my favorite TNG episodes. And it's because I do see that and keep in mind, I'm a reporter, I'm a journalist. So it's like, it's easy to pique my curiosity. And then you have to follow it to the point of knowing. And that's kind of the way it is. And they're trained to do that.
Yeah. Yes, it does. And like I said, but the thing I take into consideration when I watch this episode is a time. It's a time of its product. I mean, nowadays I don't think we would be so nosy. Maybe we would, but they tried selling it as a scientific curiosity, and that's not what it was. It's just, oh, well, all these things happen to us, and I can't live with the fact that something happened to me and not know what it was.
I
That's the
mean,
whole kind of
I
attitude.
couldn't.
Well, I'm sorry, but when your second in command is telling you, Captain, you should not go there. You need to trust me on this. That's probably where you're gonna be like, okay, number,
What I wish. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. Whatever. I wish
Go ahead.
that because we all know the episode, so whatever. I wish there was like a code that says the reason why I'm not telling you this because you told me this. I wish there was like a phrase or something that Data could tell Picard. The reason why I'm acting strange or being like this is because of ducks, something like that. That he goes, okay, I told you this reasoning why. Okay, maybe we should stop.
Yeah.
Something that just some code word that explains I'm the one who told you not to say anything, or I'm the one who told you something and you're not supposed to tell my captain, something like that. Because I think that was they focus on Data so much on this episode too.
Hmm. Well, Data is one of the key three.
Right. But I'm just
So-
saying, I wish, if they're going to do a code like this, maybe they should have done a little more.
But this
I
isn't
don't
the
know.
first time in Star Trek that we've seen them keep a secret like this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and again, I'm trying to give it a grain of salt because of the fact this was the 90s. It was a different time. We talked off the air about this.
Mm-hmm.
In the late 90s, we started seeing before Fox News when the Fox network first came out, they were playing controversial content like Married with Children, for example. And they were just pushing that. The Simpsons were just coming out.
Mhm.
But most of the networks back in those days played really conservative content. You know, Granted, for the time, and I think what they did is it felt like that episode. In my opinion, that episode is probably one of the better rewrites that they've done. But with that said, it feels like there's a lot of the story that's missing.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's because of the rewrites and like, oh, well, we can't really say that, so let's say this instead. That's what it felt like to me. I mean, Mike, to answer to go along with you, I absolutely like this episode. I love it. But as a guy trying to critique it, I have to be honest and fair and say, that would it hold up to today's standards? I don't think so. But I would love to see, how Discovery would portray this, or how the Picard series would portray this, and they could have an easy time. Speaking of Picard, like with the Borg, we saw
Yeah.
a side of them.
Mhm.
I could easily see them doing an episode like that, but featuring the Borg, maybe featuring one or two of the drones.
We already know how Discovery would handle it. We know this because of Michael Burnham. What was it that she did? There was a speck.
Are we
They
talking about
spotted
season
that
1
one
too?
little thing when they aboard the Shinzo
Okay, so we can talk
through a
about
telescope.
Yeah.
And the next thing that you know, she's in a suit and she's flying out there
Mhm.
and she kills a Klingon. She killed him after trespassing on
Yeah.
our property. See, that's how they
Well,
would do
okay.
it.
Your
In all
property
honesty,
that was
they're
on the
basically
wrong side of the border.
no, actually, it wasn't. It was
Uh,
Klingon territory.
no, it was Federation territory. It was clear as
Klingon.
day.
It has to do with whose map you're looking at.
Yeah,
Your
the
maps are wrong.
Federation map, the only map that matters.
Should I go
Scott,
get the
I'll
popcorn?
make the popcorn. And you sell the ticket.
Okay.
Jenny's just happy that I'm not picking on her for once.
You
Okay.
have another
Actually, I'm
try
also putting her
host.
too.
Do you want to know how big the Federation space really is? Go find a map of Washington State. That is
Okay.
your Federation.
And how big?
Ignore the fact that I have a Federation flag flying on a 25-foot flagpole outside my house right
Oh, I won't forget that.
now.
But underneath that, you have the CAG flag, don't you? Or you did?
No, right now I'm flying a flag that represents our Federation starship, half of our chapter. Because our chapter, that's why we're the Raven Guard. We actually have two different ships. We have a Klingon ship, and we have a Federation Starfleet ship. And basically, that way our members can be Klingon or they can be Federation, and we're all the same group. If that makes, yeah, it works. It could be because you have some people that don't want to play Klingon, so they don't want to serve on a Klingon ship.
Mhm.
But you have others that don't want to serve on anything but a Klingon ship.
Mhm.
So there we go.
I can see that.
And there's
Yeah.
no way in hell that I would put a Klingon ship battle standard, which I do have, by the way, underneath a Federation, United Federation flag. That's why when I flew the battle flag for the Klingon ship, I had the Klingon flag flying above it. And that's on the Fleet 31 page, Facebook page.
Yeah, I thought, okay, yeah. And I want to fly flags. Scott, when we get our place, we're going to have flags outside of our place.
Oh yeah.
And for any chapter commander out there that wants a flag for their chapter, get with me. I'd be willing to help you out with some of the templates I've drawn up.
That's right, because you've been working on flags.
Mm-hmm. And I've been trying to set them up in such a way so that it's easy to swap in the seal and change the name and the information on it. And then the other thing that goes on it is like a small profile, or not profile, but the top view of a ship that's in kind of gold that'll
Okay.
actually fit on there as well. Just so that people have an idea as to what your ship looks like.
Let's just continue here. This is what I don't know what he has in mind here. Oh, that's it.
Ah, that's true.
Interference
has-
with back.
Oh, welcome
And that
back.
also explains why Robert might be right, because that also explains why the Federation thinks their territory is bigger than it really is, because everything seems bigger in Texas.
Jay, if you're talking, we can't hear you. You're muted
Are
still.
you
There
thinking
you
of that?
go.
Are you sure you want to do this? Remember, you said Jenny was the most powerful person in the fleet.
I didn't say that, by the
No,
way.
you said that. Oh,
Yes, I did. She's
Said
the
that.
power behind the throne.
There we go. That way.
I mean,
But that also depends on if I'm wearing my Starfleet hat or if I'm wearing my Klingon hat.
mm-hmm.
anyways.
It's nice to be. And hey, it's called diplomatic immunity or whatever version of it the Kittimer Alliance has.
All right. So, but as far as second time is a charm, my question is, between the two scenarios that we saw when they reset for the second time,
Mhm.
what was the difference? Because there was really no difference between the first two, besides maybe the Petri dish was reset.
Those
Or-
are the little things, the little tiny clues are what they had to erase, the things they overlooked the first time. And they had to reset everything again, but they also had to include those things.
Yes
Mhm.
and no. Because
And
if
the
you
way
notice-
Data said things too.
was okay, it was slightly different.
Mhm.
But remember, Picard the second time around, he said the same thing. Data said the same thing the first time that he said the second time, and Picard's like, "Oh, yeah, let's listen to Data this time when we didn't listen to him last time."
Yeah. But I think he said it in a different way, or I don't know. I thought the same thing. It's like it's the same thing, but they decided not to go offer anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I was a little confused with that.
But like I said, I don't want to make it sound like I didn't like this episode, because I really did. I really did
Mhm.
like the episode. It was one of my favorites from TNG. And this is a great mid-season episode.
Yeah.
So, because we started off on a big bang, we got part 2 of the Best of Both Worlds, which opened the
Mhm.
season, and then there's a few good episodes in there sprinkled into this. Then, like Mike was saying, you blow your budget, and you got some in betweeners that aren't as good.
Making babies, salamanders.
That's wrong series.
So still makes sense about blowing budgets and not having enough money to make other shows.
And Troy broke Riker's arm. Riker's arm.
Yeah, not Riker. Worf's arm.
Worf's arm.
Worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it was
Yeah,
augmented.
but Who thought it was funny that when Data needed to contact Picard in the holodeck, he did it through the phone? in
This
the
phone.
holodeck?
Bye, Matt.
Bye, Matt. Have fun.
Yeah, bye, Matt.
See you, Matt. I actually think that was a cool move because you don't want, think about it, when you're watching these, when you're cosplaying or you're watching these shows or you're doing Star Trek Online, you want to keep that immersion. You don't want something that'll pull you out of it. And the way he did it is really cool because it's kind of like if you're playing a game or if you're doing something like that, you'd rather, there are times that you're into it and you'd rather receive whatever in that format. And that's kind of what he did. I had forgotten all about that.
Yeah, so the last topic I want to bring up regarding this episode is, Mike, did you watch last week?
You're talking about this episode, Clue?
No, last week's episode of our podcast.
No, I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Okay, so last week's episode was a TOS episode. It was Errand of Mercy.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
And
Okay.
it had to do with the Klingons. Ironically, that's when I was mentioning the Klingons. My prime example that I was using about their smooth talking is the fact that the Klingons went to Organia and they decided that they were going to take over the planet. The Organians said, "Go for it, go ahead, no problem. We're not going to resist." You kind of think that they're pacifists. Kirk thought that they were complete pacifists and they were just going to let the Klingon Empire roll over them. But the Organians were never in any danger. Like, oh, sure, you want to take over the planet? No problem, Matt. Have at it. The planet's yours. Don't worry about it. In their eyes, we can share this planet with you. Which brings it, but then we learn later that they're actually an advanced race and they're more energy based and carbon based. So, and the carbon base is just there for the illusion of the humanoid species. In this case, Klingons, and in this case, Earthlings or Terrans, whatever you want to call. I've heard many different names for humans. Humans, Terrans. I'm not talking about Terrans from the Terran Empire, not to be confused with those Terrans. Like over the years of Star Trek history.
Did Star Trek in canon ever say what happened to the Organians as to why they stopped enforcing that treaty? Because they basically shoved it down to Klingons and Federation's throat and forced them into it. And then one day it was just gone.
I have a theory. They just wanted them off the planet. They didn't care what they did once they left the planet. But if they were not going to leave the planet and they were bound and determined to start a fight, then the Organians like, fine, we're going to stop this. Neither side's going to fight.
Have you ever read the books that what is it called? What are those? The Vanguard series.
Yes, I've read the Vanguard series.
Now, what I enjoyed is how you found out through that what happened on that planet in Errand of Mercy actually happened everywhere because it happened in their books as well at the same time period.
That is a nice, plug to a TV show. That's awesome.
But Dayton Ward, you owe me.
Dayton Ward is one of my favorite book authors of all time. Actually.
He's a good book.
And he is funny if you follow him on Facebook. Yeah. He is a hoot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I miss Dayton Ward's there used to be a podcast, Mike, called the G&T Show.
I was just thinking about that.
And Dayton Ward would write these little summary reviews, and then
of
course nobody could do it as well as Gettysburg 7, Nick.
Nick.
And I loved when Nick would read the review back. He would ask Mike a question. I mean, not Mike. He would ask Dayton Ward a question, Mike, and then he would say it live, on the air, and then. Of course, you're laughing in the audience the whole entire time.
I miss that show.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of Honest Trailers, but like book format or character format style. Oh, you want my honest opinion on this? I will more than happy to give it to you.
And it became a challenge to try and challenge him with what your question would be. Mm-hmm. Some were straight up, just
dumb questions.
It was what it was. But then you had others where they were trying to really put it to him. Mm-hmm. And he always Always. And I bet if you wanted to find the archives of them, I bet they are on Dayton's blog. I bet they're buried in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that would be just his website.
I really wish that, the G&T show would come back. It's kind of weird. I mean, not weird. It's kind of sudden when they stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was a falling out between Terry and Nick. I don't know what it was, and I don't know that for sure, but that's kind of the impression I was getting.
Well, Terry,
Mike,
I don't want to get into too much, but I know she kind of, because her and I used to send cute pictures back and forth of cats, and then she just kind of disappeared off of social media.
she pulled off Facebook, but she is still on Twitter. If you want to interact with her, that's where you would go.
Yeah.
But yeah, she disappeared from Facebook a short while back. It's been a while now.
Mhm.
But I'll see her pop up on Twitter, and that's where I communicate with her from time to time.
Okay. It makes more sense because Facebook is kind of like regulating and restricting a lot of content, which is part of the reason I'm going to go on a side tangent. Why I'm looking at different fleet alternative options for communication with each other. But we could talk about that more in the CO Command Council and bring up some ideas. But if any of our fans out here that are watching us tonight or fellow fleet mates, if you have ideas, you can always email us, Scott, at was it F31?
Senator,
Hold on, coming right up. Here you go.
F31 center seat at gmail.com. And that will go to all three of us, and we'll
Yep.
get that message and make sure it gets relayed to the command council.
I was going to say something, and I totally forgot what I was going to say.
Go ahead. Oh,
I forgot because I was like, when we finish, let you finish talking, then
yeah.
crap.
It's okay. Yeah, look at that. Have a comment or question. Email us. I like that. That's pretty cool. You still there with us, Mike?
Yes, I was trying to find. I think it was called the Fog of Ward or something like that, wasn't it? I can't remember. I was looking. Yeah, I was looking on Dayton Ward's website, and I was trying to find it because I was going to share the link if I found the archives of it, but I didn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, I was going to say something. God, gosh darn it.
Well,
Anyways.
Now we're on general topic for the night, so either we can close off and wrap up, or we can, if anybody has any topics that they want to discuss at large.
Do any of you have a copy of Kirk Fu?
No, I do not.
We need to get a hold of a copy, and I would pay money to see this group attempt some of the moves that are in the Kirk Fu book that was written by. It was written by Dayton Ward, wasn't it?
I believe so. That one I'm not 100% certain on.
Oh, I want to get Rob Perlman's Starfleet Body by Starfleet workout book.
I've actually seen a copy of that. Is it supposed to be good?
Scott has a wallet just like that, or very similar to that.
Yeah, I do.
It's from just
yeah. There's Scott's wallet.
I like yours better. Mine was from the new movies, the Kelvin.
You know where we got that wallet?
No, where?
Of all places, Universal Studios.
Really?
Yep.
Yes.
I like your wallet.
Strange.
Of
Universal
all places.
Studios.
Yeah, we were at Universal Studios for this is a couple of years ago. My friend got married in Florida, and she works at the Harry Potter World. So she gave us free tickets to go into Universal Studios, and we just happened to walk into a store, and they had a tiny little Star Trek section. And I also got, I don't want to get up, my Firefly shirt there. It was this, like a shirt with the cast on it and the ship. Of all things. Of all places to go, we found that. His wallet and my shirt at Universal Studios.
Nice. But speaking of side tangents, I'm debating if I want to stay up and watch Discovery tonight or do I want to go to bed?
You need
to go to bed.
I don't know. Now I'm drinking all this coffee, and I'm going to at least be 2 hours before I can go to bed.
Yeah, but it won't be up by then.
Speaking of the new episode, not going into spoilers,
okay,
but have you guys seen the video clip that is from this new episode that's coming out tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that there is a certain alternate universe that is mentioned in it?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
That I about fell out of my chair when I heard them mention that.
The website's blowing that up right now. I haven't seen nothing but articles. The one thing I noticed about our phones is if you talk about Star Trek, it will
Oh
find
my
every single
gosh.
thing that it can on Star Trek, and it'll feed it into you.
Bring it on.
Your phone listen to you. I still get it because I like to watch. It's just me. I like to watch people do surprise pregnancy announcements to like friends and family. The fun ways to do it. It's just fun. I'm still getting to this day pregnancy photo like ads for like clothing and baby stuff, all because I watched a pregnancy video.
No, Thomas, no. That's all I'm gonna say.
Go,
Thomas,
Thomas.
it is fantastic.
Go.
I
It's
love it.
amazing.
I love the
It
one
was
in
so much
Orlando.
fun. That's what Scott and I went to
Don't do Harry
Orlando.
Potter and don't do Doctor Who, okay?
Harry
Klingons
Potter
don't
and Doctor Who are
do
great.
those two things.
Jay, if we had the money and the time, I would take Universal Studios in Florida. When we
Jenny,
go.
Scott, Galloway, just ish. I don't want to hear it at the moment. Jenny, Scott, what do you think about Captain Jack being back for Doctor Who this holiday special?
I'm excited, but I'm also a little worried.
All I can say is I am straight, but he is one man that I would cross the road for.
I think
He
a lot of
is-
people would.
hilarious.
He is a hoot. So, anyway, all right, back to you, Galloway. What is the face palm for? That was a genuine face palm.
He has no clue who Captain Jack Harness is, so
Did you ever watch Torchwood? At
hey,
least?
we got an email, guys.
We got an email.
Did we really?
Email.
Out of
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I
Ooh,
can't.
let's see who this is.
We got an email. We got well, you're doing Blue's Clues.
Yeah, but hey, be careful. I don't want to get copyright infringed.
Oh,
That's a 30
it's
second.
it may be the similar lines on what Mike got. At least from the summary I've got.
YPDA is actually a freed house elf. Laughing out loud.
Oh, he probably meant to say Yoda.
Oh, Yoda. Okay.
I speak
Yoda
Taiwanese.
is a freed house elf. Man. Are you saying that Baby Yoda is
An elf on
a
shelf?
house? Yes. Man, that is just sick, man.
You see
Baby
that one?
Yoda.
You seen that
That's
meme
an
that
elf on the
says
shelf. You know, if Baby Yoda
Vader on a
was,
tater? Have you seen that one? If you've seen Elf on the Shelf, have you seen Vader on a tater?
can
I've
you
seen
imagine?
Trooper on a pooper.
Can you imagine Baby Yoda seriously as an elf on the shelf? You try and eat cookies around that dude, they'd be floating through the air.
Eggs.
Eggs.
You guys are
You
gonna
go.
like what
All
Roger
you
said.
want is eggs for breakfast, and your eggs would just slowly float through the air to the shelf.
Yeah.
Or how
All
about
right.
some
So
spiders?
Robert knows who Captain Jack
Mhm.
is. There's only one Captain Jack I know, and that's Jack Sparrow.
Hmm.
But Jack Harkness, not Harkness. Basically who he is, Jay he is a alien who doesn't die.
Yep.
All right. So Arrow, Malcolm Mercer, or on the Arrow.
But I love how he ages, and I love how who
Mhm.
he ended up being in the end. Because that was another moment that I was not prepared for when they revealed who he ends up being
Yeah.
later in years.
So Brett said Yoda, so he did correct himself. And Robert corrected Brett because it's actually Grogu.
Go
No,
go.
Yoda is Yoda, but he didn't say Baby Yoda. He said Yoda. I'm the one that said Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but I am a big fan of Grogu and believe that people should use the name Grogu.
Can-
So that's bad on me.
I don't like the name Grogu.
And you call yourself a Star Wars fan, man.
I don't claim a Star. I like Star
Human.
Wars. I don't claim myself as a Star Wars fan. I like Star Wars.
Humans.
Yep, I am. Thank you very much. You know,
Scott,
but
are you a big Star Wars fan?
I'm about like Jenny.
Okay.
I'm not
So
I like
as
the-
into
I like Star
I'm
Wars.
See? Look at that cup.
I have some Star Wars stuff. I have a Yoda shirt, or I have a Goguru shirt. You know, but
He's not an alien. He's human. Just
Well-
from the galaxy.
No, he's a Klingon that's crossed with a Riemann.
You and your Klingon conspiracies.
You know something we need to do before we forget, guys? Is this right here.
Oh, yes.
Wait. Okay, before we do our homework, there is one homework that we have not done tonight. Scott, you need to
What?
put a ring on it. That's a running gag with us, Mike. Every episode, but one out of 31 episodes, one time I missed it, and then Scott was like smiling as soon as we went off the air. He's like, "Jay."
He almost got away with it tonight, too.
Mhm. All right, so we're gonna do season picker first, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Enterprise.
Okay, so
Hmm.
next
Okay.
week's homework will be Enterprise. Okay.
And next episode is Terra Nova.
Speaking of what we were just talking about.
Oh
Because-
man.
Early Terrans, early Earthlings were called Terrans, also known as humans, Earthlings. So,
But Terra Nova has nothing to do with Earth, other than they came from Earth.
all right, Brian, I'm going to get your comment here in a second. He's from the future. He got
Where
stuck in the
did-
Victorian London. Robert said. I assume he's talking about Jack.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Jack has stuck a lot of places, including
That's
how
true.
many centuries was he buried?
Oh,
Remember that? He was buried alive.
See, I didn't watch a lot of Torchwood, so I don't know a lot of more like his Torchwood side when he's
Oh,
on there. But
You have got to watch Torchwood.
I know
have
I
gotta
started
watch
and then
it.
just forgot, and then
So,
He is an actor that there are very few
And-
actors that I can honestly say if I were to meet, I would probably be tongue tied and not be able to speak. And Peter Davison from Doctor Who is one. Literally, I could not speak when I went up to be photographed with him. And he is another, Jack Harkness.
John Barrowman was his name.
Yep.
I'm trying to see if I can find a photo. Recently, when he goes to cons, he comes out on stage in some type of outfit. Now,
I have a story I'll tell you off air, Mike.
so Brian Murphy
Yeah.
says, "Don't forget happy birthday?" ? Did somebody in our have a birthday?
I know
Oh,
somebody's birthday's coming up.
I don't know what you're talking about. I had an anniversary last weekend.
You're gonna give a birthday this Saturday? Yeah, this Saturday.
Hey, why would you see? Well, oh my.
Yep.
This is John
Oh.
Barrowman,
Oh
and this
my.
is his outfits that he likes to wear on stage.
Uh-huh.
It kind of reminds me of this scamp.
He is a
But-
hoot.
He is freaking hilarious.
Where is he in the oh shoot, when he's got his full coat and everything on?
Like it's not in like
When
a
he is
normal
in it-
looking.
When he is in his formal gear. Yeah. His everyday wear in the show.
Hey,
There
Brian,
you go.
tell me his birthday you were talking about while we're looking at this full uniform.
There he is.
He is one good looking man.
Okay, so if it's a different reality, why do they have a early 20th century weapon?
Because it's not different reality, technically. They're
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but if you're gonna have a
Torchwood is-
flying tortoise,
Torchwood is
Torchwood
not-
is based in everyday
Oh,
time
yeah.
period.
okay. I
And-
thought-
most of Doctor Who is too.
Yeah. The Doctor jumps around, but he always ends up coming back to the present.
Hmm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Jenny, but we find out that there are certain things that kind of shape time, and you find out that time is fluid. And that's how they kind of explain
Yeah.
things being different now versus the future and such that the previous hosts were in. It's kind of
Really
like
wobbly,
this,
timey-wimey.
which I kind of think is the way Star Trek is headed or has with its parallel worlds and universes, or not universes, timelines and such.
Yeah, people assume that time is a straight progression of cause to effect. Actually, from a non-linear, non-subjective point of view, it's
Mhm.
more of a big ball of really wobbly-timey stuff. Literally, he says that. What doctor says that? Was it Tennant?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10. 10 said it. Yeah.
I don't know if I like him or Matt Smith better as far as
I
the new one.
started with Tennant because I didn't really watch any of the old Doctor Who, and then we're gonna bore Jay to death, but whatever.
Actually,
So,
while you're talking about this, I'm actually doing my work because
oh,
my graveyard guy that didn't come in last night just called out sick, so now I got to put him on a 14-day quarantine. So while you guys talk about Doctor Who, I'll do that.
have fun with that.
I'm telling my boss right now.
That sounds like great fun. So my first Doctor Who, because my dad told me you should watch Doctor Who. Well, you didn't tell me where to start, any of that. My first episode was oh god, what's that episode called? Are You My Mommy episode.
Oh, yeah.
And that one is with oh shoot, what's the he's got the ears. And he was in
Echosine?
yes,
He's the
and he
H?
was in
Yeah.
G.I. Joe.
So I watched that one first, and I didn't realize that there's different doctors and all that stuff. I just Google search Doctor Who. I found it on TV, and I was scared to death of that episode. Scared to death.
It's still one of the more scare episodes of Doctor Who.
Mhm.
Oh
Are
my
you my mommy?
gosh! Are you
Are
my
you
mommy?
my mommy?
And
he's wearing that gas
a
mask.
gas mask.
Mm-hmm.
And not just a gas mask, but the old World War I style.
Mhm.
Yep.
Are
Do you want to know what
you-
my favorite away team picture that I've ever had is?
What is it?
See what our shuttle is?
I like that one. Yeah, I like what Robert said.
Nice.
1.2. I have no idea what it means, but it sounds cool.
Have you not seen Back to the Future, Jay?
Exactly.
Wait, how did we go into the subject of?
Talking about time.
Time.
I'm
How
not seeing how you
creepy
made
is
the
this
two
kid?
connections.
Like, how creepy is this kid come over and go, "Are you my mommy?" Like, I can't look at that mask and not think about that episode any ever again.
Just once, everyone lives. And the doctor dances.
And then my second episode was, I don't know why, but these two episodes I remember clearly because they're my first two episodes, was Gridlock. The one where they are trying to escape the planet and they think they're getting out, but really they're just going in circles. And there's little spaceship type things, cars. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, they're in the
It's
Gridlock.
like being stuck in stop and go traffic for all your life.
Life.
Yeah, wow.
Because they don't realize they're just going in circles.
And there are travel lanes above, below, and to all
Mhm.
sides. See, you don't know what we're talking about, Jay.
Nope.
Do you see what
No
you're
idea.
what you're missing?
Missing some great episodes. Though I have to admit, I did not watch this past season because my DVR crashed
Hmm.
and I couldn't watch them online. I couldn't find a place to watch them online.
But I can make the same
Britbox.
argument about you, Jenny, about missing a great series with Stargate Universe.
One series, and I'm going to watch all of Doctor Who, and I have it set up to record now, but since I have a new DVR.
Sometimes you'll find it on Amazon Prime, but BritBox.
Yeah, but not the newest stuff.
I think
Redbox has it?
BritBox, BRIT. I think that's the name of it. It's
Oh, I have
basically
Redbox. Is it on there now? Like the new stuff?
Oh, I was thinking it
Like-
was. Is it just the old stuff?
Oh. Well, here you go, too. Yep.
Robert says it's currently on HBO Max.
Oh, it is on HBO Max?
Ooh.
I have HBO Max too. The
There you go.
the current season, Robert. 'Cause I didn't get to watch the current season at all.
Robert,
Yeah,
you are a
you
wealth of
darkness.
information, dude.
I am
There you
going to HBO Max right now and checking. 'Cause
Robert,
I
have
get
you
that
ever
free.
Robert, have you ever thought about working for the Klingon Empire? We could use intelligence officers of your caliber.
I mean, he's a night auditor, so duh, he's like smart like me.
No comment.
Hey, be nice.
Scott, remember,
That was nice. Okay.
Scott, remember, you owe me a barrel of blood wine,
Yes, I do.
or we will
A
go up there and raid
barrel?
your ship, your territory.
What about a bottle of blood wine? Come on, let's be reasonable.
Oh, it's a
Hey,
barrel.
COVID, he hasn't been able to.
You know how expensive alcohol is, especially by the barrel.
I was actually one of the things I was going through as I just redid the website and updated the website for my chapter,
I'll come
and
back to your comment.
one of the things that honestly I was glad to start filling in were events that I'm hoping that my crew will be able to do, like Awesome Con and Shore Leave and some other conventions like that. And some of them I'm hoping that we can actually meet up finally.
Yeah. Speaking of Awesome Con, real quick, tickets went on sale yesterday for it.
Oh,
for
really?
next year.
It's gonna be virtual.
Nice.
No, in person in August of end of next year or
Yeah.
2021.
So hopefully we will all be vaccinated by then and all good to go.
Sammy had a response to you, Scott.
Yeah, I know. Let's see.
Robert says, I play Federation, and the personnel I named my ship after would like that.
Wouldn't like that? Huh.
Wouldn't like that.
Good news.
Oh boy.
This is the right season, right? I'm so behind. I think it's
Yeah,
season 12,
I think
right?
so.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
What is this?
This is Doctor Who.
She's the
'cause
doctor.
We were talking about Torchwood too, so I don't know anymore.
Well, Torchwood is as a child of Doctor Who. It's a part
It's a
of Doctor
spinoff.
Who. I was trying to think of a term to say, but yeah, it's a product of Doctor Who.
Torchwood should be on HBO Max too.
Yep, there it
There
is.
you go.
Cool.
I bet Robert would know. Or actually hit the 4th season button. I just want to see if the episodes, if they include, because it jumped to America to one of the like Showtime or Cinemax or something like that, and I can't remember which one it was on. Yeah, that's it. So they have it all, because that was actually made in America.
Okay.
Which might be why the show has been on hiatus ever since.
Yeah.
Even your series that you guys are mentioning, and I don't know much about it. I guess tonight's episode title is "Can Even Be True for That?" Change is constant. These shows are constantly changing. Star Trek's changing. Discovery changes.
Look, you can totally watch Harry Potter too.
Why?
A troll. Yes, we like to troll you, Jay.
America.
America.
I have mentioned the Master.
You have to mention the Master. The Master is another Doctor Who thing.
He's the ultimate villain. Which he also used to be the Doctor's best friend.
The Master. My dad does that. He dyes his beard black, and he wears a suit and he wears the gloves.
Now they've had some really good
evil Master.
I'm glad that Robert said that, because Missy is my favorite. But my favorite until Missy showed up, my favorite was the one that was during the time of Tom Baker and actually Doctors 3, 4, and 5. And all I can say is that the actors that they have gotten to play the Master have looked they've looked a lot alike, and it was really cool. Even there was one that used to get on my nerves though, and he's the one that was around during Tennant's years, I believe. He's the one that, or it might have been Matt Smith or both. It was the one right before Missy. He was kind of ish.
Okay.
I enjoyed watching him die. I'll just say that.
Yeah, so we can just share. Scott and I went to a Who Fest. I actually got interviewed by
I'll be right back.
Jay's like, this is boring.
Where was the Who Fest?
That is not true. I have to go use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Wash your hands. This
Where
was
was
in
the-
Dallas.
Okay,
Thanks,
because
Mom.
I
I'll be
think
right
there's
back.
one. I think there's a big one that takes place up around
Gallifrey
Baltimore.
1. There's Gallifrey 1 in California. But so here's some Who Fest pictures we have. So the doctors.
Now that doctor that you were just showing, he has changed a lot over the years.
Mhm. I'm not good with names, so I can't remember some of the older doctors. Then there was
He's
a
the
costume
one.
contest.
I think he was the other one that had all the hair. Colin Baker.
Yes,
Isn't
it
that
was
who he
Colin
is?
Baker. Yeah, yeah. There were some really good costumes here. Cyberman. Or maybe this is not the one. I know her. Maybe this is not the one I was thinking of. Let me go back and see if I can find the other Who Fest one. What year was that, babe?
2017?
How many years have you guys been?
5.
5. His
Dude, time to put a ring on it.
he knows.
Ooh, nice. Who Fest 2?
That's the one we just looked at. Did I
This
not
is,
post?
it was Who's Fest 5, I think. Yeah,
Did
it
I
was.
not post pictures of it?
I thought you did.
Maybe it's, you visit one. Maybe you went. No.
What ship are you with, Jenny?
On which?
Fleet 31.
I'm technically on 2.
Cyber.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
on
I
she's
know
on the
I know
cyber.
a few that are that way. I was wondering, were you ever on the same one as Cameron?
Yeah, in the very beginning I was.
Okay.
Well, now I can't find it. That's weird. Why can't I find
it
that
was
photo?
there.
So do we in Fleet 31 consider the flagship the home chapter of the Fleet Commander now?
What?
Is the current flagship your ship? I'm
my ship is
talking
my
while she's
flagship.
looking. Say again?
The Moorhead is the flagship of the Vice Admiral.
Hmm.
But he has an office on Starbase 31.
So the fleet basically doesn't have a flagship right now.
Yeah. So I think the flag transferred wherever the fleet commander is.
Yeah, that's the
That's what
way
he's
it should be.
asking.
Yeah. I'm just saying, right now, technically, yes, I do have the ship, but I'm also on the Starbase.
Mike's trying to figure out from a Klingon Empire who to raid first.
Oh,
That's easy. As long as you keep paying
Constellation.
the bounty of blood wine, you're good, Scott. I'll ignore you.
No.
Which means I'll head south first. They have better barbecue anyway.
No. Forget Texas.
So
Kentucky.
for the ship in Greenville, North Carolina, I'm coming for you.
No. Forget North Carolina. Go to Kentucky. Go to Paducah. The USS Constellation.
Actually, the
Well, I
best
can't find it.
is
Texas.
in South Carolina. I hate to say it, but it's
Wow.
Scott's barbecue. Mm-hmm.
Texas.
Yep, Rodney Scott.
Okay.
Oh,
My,
that's that tomato based stuff, isn't it?
but
That's
then you
not
have
even-
the freaking
that-
vinegar base. This is disgusting. No, the tomatoes is the ketchup base.
I have vinegar in my blood. How do you think I became Klingon?
So my
I could
cousin
drink that
got
stuff like
married.
blood wine.
So my cousin got married, and they had a barbecue off because her husband was from North Carolina, and she's from
Oh, good.
Texas. And so we had a barbecue off, and we had each barbecue, and we had a rate. They didn't tell us whose is who. They just, gave us a portion of each with their sauce that matched each, and then we had to vote which one we liked better, and then we found out who won. I'm not gonna tell you who won, just because I like to
North
suspense.
Carolina.
Texas.
North Carolina.
Texas.
The
I mean,
But that
Jay's
makes
gonna
me-
come down here, and I'm gonna take him some good barbecue
I've been there.
places.
Actually, I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to barbecue, there are so many different types that's what I love about barbecue.
Hmm.
Is you can. It's not like certain foods that when you eat one, you can't change it up so much. Barbecue, you can change up to where even if it's vinegar based, it's like the reason I love Rodney Scott's in South Carolina. The best one is at his original place in Hemingway. Although I raided a Klingon ship's territory and Charleston and got it
Not
this
true,
last
Tom.
time.
Not
But
true.
what I loved about it is it had a sweeter taste to it. But the tomato based is also good for different reasons. And then you've got the beef versus the pork. It's like
Oh,
it's great.
also a barbecue is not putting burgers on the grill. That's not a barbecue.
No,
People who call that a barbecue, no, that's a picnic.
that's right,
putting
Scott.
burgers on a grill. A barbecue is where you smoke it for hours, and you
Mhm.
got some good meat and some ribs and some brisket and turkey.
And the secret's in the corruption sauce.
So it sounds like the same thing as a sloppy Joe.
No,
Not even close.
no.
Are you trying to compare barbecue to sloppy
No,
joes?
I'm trying.
Really?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I think he is.
No,
but
no.
I think you
That's
are.
impeachment
Hey,
worthy right
hey,
I
there.
think he's the
let
Klingon
me
trailer
speak.
trash over here.
No, let me speak. No, I
You're
I was
about to be
I was
excommunicated.
trolling. I was trolling Jenny because I know she does not like.
Ugh.
But good sloppy joes takes hours to prepare. You just don't grab a can, dump it in there, and then stir it for like 20 minutes and say, "Here's dinner." No, but by
Talking
your
about
definition, Jenny, by your definition, sloppy joes could be considered barbecue.
You know what, Robert? When you come here next year, I'll take you some good barbecue places.
I agree with you, Robert.
Yeah, I like my barbecue well done. Yeah, I have to agree, Robert.
Yeah, I
Especially when
don't.
it's done with a phaser.
Hmm. And I
You don't want
also
the
like
worms
it
swimming
more
down your
shredded.
throat.
I don't like it chunky. The something that when you mentioned a barbecue off that made me think that would be really cool is we have a chili cooking contest here
Yeah,
when we
no, I'd
don't
love to
have.
do that.
Yeah, that would be cool to do as a crew. As a
Yeah,
group, that would
Mhm.
be neat.
if you like chili.
So if there are any chapters out there that are looking something to do to add that's not a convention or something that's team building,
Hmm.
find a chili cooking contest and let us know how you do. And may you win. Unless you're against us, in which case may you die.
Klingon.
Anyways,
Are you trying to start a fight, Mike? I like it. So what we
Before
need
it's
is
over, Scott will become a Klingon.
a good barbecue, good chili, and good sloppy joes. And we should make Jenny try all three of them.
I'll try the barbecue.
Okay, fine. Good sloppy joes and good chili. We'll make Jenny try both of them.
Both look like diarrhea or puke.
You know what you do, Jenny? Is he gives you the sloppy Joe sandwich, and when he's not looking, you substitute it with a barbecue sandwich. And
Okay,
you're good to go.
down. I'm good for that.
Mike, you just ruined her plan, so now I'm going to be paying attention.
I'll tell you that somebody's outside, or I don't know. I'll find some excuse.
Don't give away your secrets.
I'm not giving away secrets. That's like my backup plan.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I'll make you eat anyways.
This is probably true.
You eat anything.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of people who eat anything, my coworker is now I understand they nicknamed him Garbage Disposal
Why?
because he will eat anything.
Really? Anything?
Yes, anything.
Sounds like my dad, my stepfather.
Like some guest came down and go, "Hey, I have half a pizza. Would you like to eat it? I'll eat it." It's like you don't even know where that piece has been in that guest's room. He could have thrown it on the toilet seat or something. You don't know.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. Sloppy joes are amazing, especially
Sloppy
homemade
Joes.
sloppy joes.
Sloppy Joes are good. but they're not the same as barbecue.
Yeah, that's true.
And Thomas says
Barbecue
he
is
can make
amazing.
good chili.
Hey, Scott,
Yes.
this is the original battle flag or battle standard of the Storm Blade.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yes, it even has the swallowtail tips on it.
Yeah, I remember seeing that one displayed before.
Yeah.
You need to send me that link so I can actually get those made for myself.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
You know you're gonna have to pay him blood wine to do that.
No,
Nah.
just pay the website directly.
Now, if you want some that I've already designed, I can put you in touch with the guy, and you can just, and I can tell him you're coming, and you can just tell him what you want, and he can print it because he's got the files.
Jay, you
And
should
if
do
you-
that, and you can you can attach that to your window and your cruise, your
That I'm going
stateroom.
Yeah, it's gonna at least
Yes.
have the Federation flag or the fleet flag on there.
I would do fleet flag because I think a lot of people put Federation or
Mhm.
Klingon flags out on their doors
Uh-huh.
and windows.
plus advertisement
Mhm.
Yeah.
for chapter and fleet. That's one of the things I like about the flags that I'm doing right now. The ones
Yeah.
have designed is it's the fleet logo, but it's the chapter seal. So you have the fleet logo and the fleet and all the information on it, but you got your chapter's name and everything on it. So it's your chapter flag, but it's definitely Fleet 31.
Yeah.
And it was hard coming up with a standard looking flag for a Klingon ship, but I managed to pull it off.
Yeah.
I couldn't put the Federation logo on it though.
Yeah.
You guys see that? This is what
Yeah.
he's talking about.
That one's
Oh,
flying
whoa.
outside my home right now,
I like it.
or one similar to it, I should say.
Yeah. So, it has the ship name, Fleet 31 here. He's also aligned with Alliance Central Command, which is a Star Trek Online fleet that he have as the command. Recently, the Calypso is now a Titan class explorer. Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Can you show him the Klingon one?
Let's see.
There you
One
go.
of 'em.
Whoa.
Ooh, that's
One of
pretty
'em.
too.
Yeah, that's the Stormblades
Yeah.
flag, because what we've got for the battle standard, we'll keep that on the pole that we can carry, but this is the one that we can actually like fly from the flagpole.
Oh, so
But
We have different options here.
Yeah.
We were going back and forth on them, and then here's the one
yeah,
that he was
that's the
talking
one I
about.
just showed you with the swallowtails. It looks cool, but I'm afraid that the swallowtails probably wouldn't hold up in high wind. So that's why the
That's
standard
all of
one.
them.
just a side note,
Mhm.
our friend Lily said she just saw in another Star Trek group page that they're doing a free Galaxy Con, and it's gonna have a whole bunch of DS9 people on the January 3rd.
Okay.
Galaxy Con is a thing they've been doing a lot of little mini video interviews. So
Yeah, I love GalaxyCon. Scott, when they hold Richmond again, are you going to come down to that one?
I'm gonna try to.
Yeah, we need to plan to have a dinner.
Oh yeah,
See
definitely.
if we can get some members together.
A Texas drink, Big Red,
in a Dickies cup.
and a Dickie's barbecue cup. Yes.
We all come on, we all have those. We all have those Dickie barbecue cups.
Mhm.
You know what ours is used for?
But
Scooping up dog food.
Funny enough,
that sounds like a Texan thing to do.
it's not fitting in there. It's a Mission barbecue cup from the other day.
Oh, nice.
It's just not working my green screen.
No, we just go to Dickie's way too much because that's literally the only barbecue place we have around here.
I'm so sad. I'm so sorry.
And you still live on the West Coast?
I'm honestly
Man.
thinking about moving to Texas. Jenny's dwindling me down.
I
Let's
like
go.
Texas.
Come on.
Why? Because now apparently drugs are legal in Oregon, and I'm a little nervous about that.
Plus, you have a lot of forest fires
Yeah.
on the West Coast.
I mean, if you come to Texas, you get tornadoes, but
We
East
get
Coast is
tornadoes
better,
here.
though.
We get tornadoes here too.
come
Yeah,
to
we live right by
Texas.
St. Helens, where Grandma lives. My daughter's asking me, do we get tornadoes?
I am curious as to if Jenny will end up moving to the East Coast or if Scott will end up moving to Texas.
Texas.
Scott better be moving down here.
Which one has better conventions and things like that?
Texas.
That's the one thing I hate about the West Coast is they get all the really good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas has some really good ones. We have several in this area. There are actually okay. I'm a little mad, but Anime Fest is being hosted here. Yeah, that's right. That's why Robert's coming to see me. No, he's coming for another reason, but I'm gonna hopefully he'll be here in the summer, next summer. Yeah.
Oh, something I do want to mention so that it's on Jay's mind and everybody else's, and any CO that's out there for any of the chapters or any members. When I was talking to one of my crew members, he's currently out of pocket and he's staying with family up in upstate New York. So we were talking about the fact that the set tour, which is in Ticonderoga, is not far from where he's at. It's about 3 hours. And it got us talking about the fact that we definitely want to go to that. And it would be really cool if we had a day that we planned far enough out that is anyone from the fleet that could make it and wanted to go could actually go do this together.
That would be fun.
Mhm.
Of course, after
Also-
COVID's over, but
Well, yeah, when something gets back to normal,
mhm.
I think it'd be awesome if we can set up away missions for, maybe anybody who can and able to come down to Texas, go to NASA, and then go to NASA down in Texas, and then people who can go to Florida and go to that NASA, or go to DC and go to Air and Space Museum. Sci-fi stuff we love to do.
You know, one place I really want to go, the Smithsonian.
It's really great.
Yep.
Scott and I went.
You have to pick and choose what you're going to do, though, Jay, because Smithsonian is a huge area down
Yeah, it
there.
depends on which.
There's
Which
only
city
one
go
that
to.
really, really matters that you got to do every time. And that is to see the original filming model.
Yes.
The
That
Smithsonian.
is the
You
Mecca.
mean
That is the holy pilgrimage right there.
But you guys know that, right? The Smithsonian's huge.
Yes.
It as big as it looks on top, it's even bigger down below.
Mm-hmm.
you mean
It's
this
one of the
thing
most
right here?
secure-
Right there. I got to be there when they brought it back in and unveiled it.
Robert suggests the Air and Space Museum.
That's exactly
Yeah.
where it is.
This
Both
is what we're
versions.
looking at.
And it
Um,
used to be, if you went in, it was on the right. They're doing like a reconstruction or remodel of the whole front area. They're going to move it again, but it'll still be fairly close up front, I think, is
Good.
what I heard.
But
There's
if
a lot
you're
of
going to do
pictures of us. But yeah,
if you're going to do the Air and Space Museum, you definitely need to do that one because if you're a Trekkie, you want to see it.
Oh, yeah.
But the other one, which is larger, which is over at the airport, that's where like the Blackbird is. That's where the shuttles are,
hmm
space shuttles, and the Enola Gay and several other things. It's awesome.
which one? I wanted to go, and I was so mad because they had some movie pavilion, movie stuff. The red slippers from Harry Potter. The red slippers from Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
When
that
we
was
went,
American History
I
Museum,
think it
I
was
think.
American
Yeah.
history.
They
But
have
when
some
we
great
went,
cultural stuff.
that wing was under construction.
Hmm.
I was so sad. But yeah, here's aerospace. I'm just kind of letting you glance at all the photos I took.
All right. I don't know if this is true, so someone tell me. I seem to remember that in the museum that you just talked about, that there's actually uniforms that were worn by Kirk and maybe Spock. And
I
is
think
one of the
so.
captain's chairs there, or is it not? Is it just the uniforms, or do we actually have a captain's chair there?
I remember it's been a little bit since I've been down there. I remember the uniforms being there. I'm not sure about the captain's chair,
Captain
but
America one.
at one point I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's some better pictures of us in it. But I might have. Do I have? Let me check here. Did I take pictures at the other one? I think I did.
Yeah, I think he did.
I'm a picture fanatic. I love pictures.
That's a good
I hate
quality to have.
pictures.
What? Really?
But
You're a
anybody can
photographer.
anybody
You're
can
a
take photos.
photographer.
It's like, why would you want to take photos? It's like, photos aren't worth
Oh,
anything.
maybe I didn't. Oh wait,
You
maybe I
got-
changed it to like
The
DC
same
trip
reason
or
I do
something.
these videos. Someday my kids will have something to remember me by when eventually I pass.
Photos. Oh, I was joking. Photos are moments in time.
Yeah,
It's like
or
without
we-
photos, how would we be able to look back and see the things she's been showing us?
Yeah, here's
Mhm.
honestly, yeah, because like I maybe have like a small handful of my childhood photos
so
at mother's house.
here's
Oh,
the other one.
Oh,
is it funny that the Victorian dress that you just showed, when I saw it, the first thing I thought of was Doctor Who?
Yeah, right. I think these were all the dresses the first ladies wore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're all the first ladies wore. Yeah, I didn't take many pictures of that one. It was because that time I went to DC. I went to a family thing with Scott and worked for Metro, and then we did duck tours, where like you get on that little like boat
Hmm.
and go through DC, and then you go in the water. I think I have the duck tours.
okay.
Where is it? I just saw it. Yeah. We did the duck tours. I thought I took a picture of it. It was from like, was it World War One or two?
It's a World War II boat.
Should I didn't
I
take a
want to
picture of
say,
it? Oh, here it
yeah,
is.
World War II.
Yeah, like apparently they converted
Oh,
they
yeah.
did these in World War One, where it can be land or sea to help them going from the ocean to the ground, the beach, to start finding stuff. So now they just use them as duck tours.
And that tour was kind of cool because we had a few extra minutes. So at the end of
That's right. Yeah.
Reagan's runway, we just kind of sat there. We actually got to see, I think it was an American Airlines jet go right over us.
Yeah, we're in the ocean. Or the ocean, the
That river.
pond river. Yeah. I have video somewhere of us going up it. Yeah, here it is.
And this is going into the water.
This
you
is
meant?
going into the water.
Oh wow.
There is sound, but I didn't turn the sound on, so
No,
we had an Australian driver, so that was kind of fun.
yeah.
But yeah, here. So he stops for a minute to switch over to the propellers.
Mhm.
Then in a minute here, we'll start going down. I think he has to like clear with the dock and stuff. Yeah, here we are. We're rolling. And he was saying the wheels still rotate while they're in the water.
Oh.
Yep, there we go. Now we're on the water. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, it is.
And I think I had a video. Well, anyways.
Hmm.
But yeah, a video was coming out too. But
Well,
I don't want to bore y'all to death here.
Mike, another fun thing to do maybe with your crew when you're up here too is the Segway tour.
Oh,
It gives you a highlight of all the museums.
Hmm.
Plus, you get to ride a Segway.
and you get to see the White House. You get to see the Capitol. You get to see the National Treasury. It's really cool. Things things you would take you 2 to 3 days to do in DC, you got to do in within 3.5 hours.
Mike and I are adjusting our seats. Nice.
Anyways, I think we might be done for the night.
I think so. This has been really fun, guys. It's
Yeah.
been a while since we've done a 2-hour episode.
Right?
Mike, it's all credit to you, buddy.
We need to have an episode where we discuss Klingon conspiracies.
I thought we did that tonight.
Oh no, that's
The
just the,
discovery propaganda
that's
that
just
you're
the
No, no.
talking
beginning.
about.
I
This
can
is just
spend
the intro.
anything to Klingon. I can spend anything to Klingon. You guys can give me a subject, I'll turn it into a conspiracy.
Okay.
Why
I mean,
Jenny doesn't like
Second
chili.
homework. Second homework, people. Send us
Why
ideals.
Jenny doesn't like chili. Spin that Klingon style.
I blame Romulans.
Well, there you go. That worked. All right, Thomas, thank you for joining us tonight. Everybody else, thank you for
Yeah,
joining
thank
us.
you.
Thank you.
We'll be back next Wednesday. before we go, though, Robert Reyes is saying the Klingon Alex Jones. Okay. Did I say Wednesday? Yeah, I did say Wednesday. We'll be next.
Mhm.
We'll be back next Wednesday. Until then, live long and prosper.
Peace and long life.
Kapla.